I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is a very special Halloween edition of Dragons of War. We are rejoining the party after they have encountered some goblin scouts riding spiders in advance of the main goblin army. I shouldn't say goblin army. They do have other, orcs and trolls and everything else.
Goblinoid.
Yes, goblinoid army. And you guys are headed towards one of the larger villages in order to um, try and warn them, protect them, prepare defenses. All of the plans that you have. I'm sure D'Angelo's just planning on eating something or someone, but either way, it's best to get around people for all of your plans. And so, as you continue down the road that you were on after the battle with the spiders, um, it takes you, you know, well into the day, so much so that you don't realize just how late it was getting as storm clouds begin to move in overhead and overcast everything around you. You realize that if you're caught out in the open night like this, you'll be extremely vulnerable, and you begin to think about, making camp or, what you're going to do when you see in the distance the flicker of a like cooking fire, the smoke rising off of a chimney. You can't see the chimney just yet, but I mean, you've all seen the difference between like just random wildfire smoke rising up and like chimney smoke, how it's got that smooth line and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So
Wildfires smolder, chimney fires smoke.
yeah. So as the line of smoke makes it evident that this is coming out of a chimney flue, it is obvious that just over the next rise, around the next bend, you know, is a village of some sort, shelter. That's the important thing here. And so, do you guys head? I mean, I'm not a railroad kind of DM, so if you don't want to go to the village, like you can camp out, somewhere else, do whatever. But
We're good going to the village. I mean, we have got some people that won't completely scare them to death. Perzor should go first though, because the rest of us are going to look a little strange.
I mean, we could observe for a little while and see sort of the type of village it is and make a decision based off that. Like if it's a village that obviously looks like it's full of, necromancers or something, maybe we should avoid it.
Would we know something of this village from maps or previous travel through this area? Any of us individually?
well, you know, Gorakul would know the basics of like most of the villages around here, containing the same kind of people that he was kind of staying with in his home village of Brotniabad, when you guys first started this journey together. And so definitely he would rightfully might not be the right word, logically assume that the rest of the villages were very much like his, with different degrees of farmers versus warriors. Certainly some villages might be a little more aggressive, just because it's a little bit more of a raiding type of tribe clan that inhabits that village, whereas another one might be far more hobbit like with their farming and puffing on pipes. So it really just varies in the difference, say, between a production city like Detroit versus a more technological city like Los Angeles.
But
Okay.
but this village is basically in the way of the oncoming orc
Oh yes.
army. Army, I guess, is what we've been calling it. So let's go with army.
Yes, absolutely. It is an army for one, to clarify that, and then horde, if nothing else, and then two, this village is very much along the path towards where you're going, which means that the horde will make it this way, shortly, because you guys are just ahead of them.
Hmm. Okay. At the very least, we should probably warn the village, I think.
Yeah. So my question. So the orc army is on its way because it was on its way to begin with. It's not because they were looking after us, or they were trying to find us.
They are not spending the resources to have the entire horde come looking for you. They definitely do have individual like scouting units looking for you guys, but the entire horde is on a steady path, and you just happen to be running ahead of the boulder because you're trying to warn people that the boulder's coming.
Okay. All right, so if that is our motivation, I don't think we have really the time to observe the village very long. We should probably go in and warn them ahead of time and maybe pick up some more supplies.
Oh, and
Agreed.
just to, sorry, I didn't mean to cut anyone off there. Just to be clear, when I say you're just ahead of them, I don't mean like hours. I mean like, a day, 3 days. It takes a while to mobilize even that level of chaotic of an army. In fact, it might even take longer, although, with the way that medieval armies would like gather all of the supplies, it could sometimes take weeks. These guys kind of just raid as they go, so they are a little more fast moving like that. But still, we're talking about hundreds, thousands of goblinoid creatures. They cannot just overtake you like tonight.
Yeah, understood. But at the same time, it takes time for a village to evacuate. So we should notify the town, I guess the mayor or the whoever the leader is, of what's going on, so they can plan what they want to do, and we could probably try to get some supplies like
Why
armor.
why don't you guys go ahead and talk like in character about what you want to do as you see this smoke, and then you can, you know, approach the village if that's what we end up doing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goraku is all for like approaching the village, saying
Pesci
like,
says, normally in these circumstances, I like to, tell a tale and a warning, but I don't think we have time for the true art.
The true art.
You know, storytelling and putting on shows and things.
Yeah, I'm not really in the mood for that. Obviously, I'm perfectly fine with some rain. I'm great with rain, man. That's no problem. But you guys want to get moving? Let's get moving.
This is
well, if
Lucy.
and
I'd like to get moving and go to the.
Yeah, I mean, I want to rest a little bit. I want something to eat. I'm sick and tired of talking about goblins. How bad can these guys be? If we need to kill them all, we'll kill them all. That's easy.
Well, they did
Let's not
have
jump
you.
to conclusions here.
They did have you held prisoner for a little bit, so
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just sick of talking about them right now. I'll kill
that's
more of them later.
that's fair. And I love that Lucy wants to get in out of the weather. Like the cat's like, no, that's rain clouds. Let's get inside somewhere.
Come on, we gotta warn them.
Yeah. Let's do it.
indeed,
All right. So as the party agrees that, whether they feel comfortable with the amount of information that they have about this village or not, that these people don't deserve to just get slaughtered by orcs and goblins without at least a warning, a chance to defend themselves. And so you make your way down. But as you're making your
Cautiously.
yeah, oh sure, of course, yes, absolutely. But as you're making your way down, roll for perception.
Perception under skills. Under skills.
Yes.
Ew. I'm glad that Pesci's perceptive.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes he's quite distracted.
Lucy appears to be worried about the rain.
Yeah. All
it's
she knows.
raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. He bumped his head and went to bed and got the app in the morning.
All she knows is that she can smell the, crackling electricity in the air of a storm and just wants inside, even like a barn or anything. So, Pesci and Perzor, you guys, as everybody else is talking and everything, you guys are kind of paying attention as you come up on this village, and you can hear it's music and laughter, children, shouting and everybody just uh, dancing, and it's a party. There's a party going on.
Yeah.
I love good parties.
Are they partying like it's 1999?
There you go.
They're partying like it's 199 BC.
Well, I'd like to scale this party up a little bit. Let's get going.
All right.
Well, they'll be certain to have meat. If that
Does
makes
anybody
you happy.
does anybody have any money?
We have some that we got from the ogre. Remember, we all got 100 gold pieces each,
Oh yeah, that's right.
so we have some money.
Yeah.
Now it's just a question of can we? Oh, I like the glowing effect on this. This is cool.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, but we need to find a place to rest if we can, because
Yeah. So where would it look like the town elder would be? And I mentioned to the party that it seems like they're having a celebration tonight. It might be difficult to warn folks.
Or it'll be very easy. Everybody will be in one spot.
Yes, and drunk.
Yeah, that's yeah.
we're
So
definitely in the mood to listen to us.
Personal experience of such things. This does not go well.
yeah, so
Tread lightly.
you're both very correct. First of all, everybody does appear to be like out of their homes. They're not all like in this town center right here because there's also children. It's not unlike trick or treating, but instead of the children like going door to door with bags and getting candy, it's oh, I know, you if you're familiar with the very old tradition of wassailing and all of that from like Dickensian London type stuff, you would go door to door and then they'd invite you in and you'd have like a little cup of cider or whatever, and that is kind of more what's going on. It's not them being given food and they like go and just keep collecting it. They go to each door, have a little party, and so there's like one huge party going on in the center of town and then like a dozen little parties going on like on people's front porches and everything.
Can Goraku roll a history check to see if he knows the celebration going on?
You guys would all recognize this instantly as a harvest festival. There's many, many, many harvest festivals celebrated, as many different ways as there are different humanoids and nations and all of that. Each one has their own like little tradition, but it doesn't matter if it's an Oktoberfest or a Halloween or a Thanksgiving. A harvest festival is there to, give back to the people in celebration of making it through another year of backbreaking medieval, labor.
Okay, so Pesci tells the party that it will probably be easier to wander around town as long as they're not on like high alert for anything. But as soon as we tell them what's going to happen, it's going to cause trouble. So we should proceed very carefully, and let's try to see if we can find the town elder or mayor or whoever is in charge and let him know what's going on so that way he can decide how to proceed further.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Indeed. No need to cause a widespread panic attack.
So So let's walk up to the first, porch that we see. A couple people sitting on the porch, and ask them where the town elder is.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys are um, making your way through the village, the people
I
see.
think. Sorry, I think Pesci and I should go in and lead the way as opposed to.
Why? You think the people are gonna be a little frightened by me? I mean, I'm just a little lizard. I'm just a little
He's in
lizard.
costume.
It's a
He's a
costume.
very
It's all
fine
you.
looking costume too, very realistic. My hat's
We,
off to the maker.
we don't know if this is that kind of celebration. We just know it's some kind of harvest festival, and if we're the only ones in costume, it's going to look real strange.
So yeah, Perzor does bring up kind of a good point. Any characters have any objections, or would you guys
No,
like to hang back and let the slightly more human-looking of you go first?
I will be happy to hang back here and just kind of stretch out next to the cat.
Yeah. So
And
as
I'll sort of be
Figuratively and
behind.
literally.
And I'll sort of be behind because I know that some folks are a bit more comfortable with Gorakul.
yes, Dragonborn are kind of a borderline race where they're not feared per se, though.
They
It's
do raise eyebrows.
exactly.
They're uncommon but not scary.
Correct. And so as the rest of you kind of hang back just a little bit, with Gorakul staying, just far enough back to not make it obvious that you're all together. Um, Pesci, you're well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you how your character reacts, but I'm going to tell you what you see and experience. And my assumption is that unless you're still battling the depression from some of the stuff that has happened, that this might you know wake something up inside of Pesci, because instantly you can tell that not only is this a costume, party, which already, uh, you know, costumes, dress up, that's right up your barred alley to begin with. But it's very much a performance type of celebration. There is a lot of dancing, sort of like Dia de la Muerta or Oktoberfest, very organized dancing kind of things going on, as well as at each of the houses, you can already hear part of the tradition is telling spooky stories and trying to scare each other. And so they're putting on the performances like you would around a campfire, where you hold the flashlight up underneath your face and try to, scare everybody. And it's an entire night of everybody just trying to perform and entertain each other in spooky, fun, scary ways.
Oh no. Oh no. All right, let
Okay.
me.
Looks like fun from where I'm sitting, but I'm just, hanging back, leaning against a tree, hanging out with the cat.
What type of saving check would that be to stay focused on the task? Would that be wisdom or
Wisdom.
concentration?
Yeah, definitely wisdom.
Do I notice that he, I don't know, either seems distracted or off?
Well, we'll find out when he rolls how yeah, he definitely he's like a puppy that wants to go meet the other puppies,
You're seeing Pesci as he's looking around and picking up bits and pieces of like the local flair for these costumes and stuff, slowly adjusting his appearance for his presentation to like give himself certain features and like muck up, like paint his face and change his hair color and change his costume and stuff as he's starting to like try to blend in.
Oh, that's so awesome. And in fact, because everybody is drinking and dancing and everything, there are actual costume pieces scattered around as well that
Oh man, he's picking them up and putting them on as he goes.
so
Hey.
yeah, you definitely notice.
Hey, Pesci, that's a nice costume you got there. Where'd you get it?
Oh, this here, Furzor, you should wear this as he takes one costume piece that he feels would fit in very well and puts it on him.
What would you like it to be? A mask or a full on like dress toga type of costume?
Oh, it'll totally be a toga, and he says, he tells him, "Your face is scary enough. Use this."
Thanks.
Gorakul sort of notices them putting on the costumes and says, "What in the devil is going on here?"
Exactly.
And sort of steps forward.
Yes, and so now, Perzor,
Gorakul.
you are busy. Oh, 1 second. You're busy trying to like rein Pesci in a little bit as he's trying to get this toga on you and convincing you that like you gotta you gotta blend in, man. You know, you gotta learn to blend. and so
You don't want to be approaching the mayor looking like you just came out of a war. You want to approach the mayor looking like you fit in.
But aren't we warning them about a war?
Yeah, but we don't want to, get them on their back heels and stuff. We want to, lower them carefully into this new world order that they're soon to realize within the next 24 to 38 hours.
yeah, and also like it can still be done with style, can't it?
Obviously.
So, but as that's happening, Gorakul, you spot in the center of town a man. He is wearing a simple costume, but his clothing instantly gives him away as one of the wealthier, members of society. And then suddenly he's making an announcement that it is time for the Great Pumpkin Contest.
Ooh.
And he's just announcing all of this. But now you guys can see this guy's at least in charge of the party, if not the town.
And
Yeah, I think-
Gorakul decides to walk over there.
What's a pumpkin contest? Let's go take a look. Maybe the mayor's over there. Come on, Perzor.
Okay.
At this point, Pesci is basically like a child at the county
Yeah.
fair trying to pull you towards the funnel cakes and the ice cream and the corn on whatever. You're like, oh, what's over here? Oh, they got a pumpkin patch. They got a corn maze. Oh my god.
I'm at least taking solace in the fact that I also think that that's if that's the guy that's the master of ceremonies, he's probably at least important enough to know who's in charge of the town if that's not him.
Yeah,
So-
Gorakul's sort of like heading to the man of ceremonies to like talk to him, and he's like, "Excuse me, good sir, I would like to speak with you."
He's like talking to the crowd and everything. He's like lining everybody up for the pumpkin contest. He's not like just standing there like you can just walk up to him and like just start talking.
Yes, and Gorakul tries to do that sort of thing.
Okay,
but
so as you're
he's
shouting,
always-
you're kind of shouting over some people, like they're talking and you're like, sir, and he kind of has one of his aides. Uh, they go and you know try to shush you as he's trying to line everybody up for this.
Goracle sort of like looks around and tries to see what exactly the people in line have.
All of the people in line have pumpkins carved with various faces that they have carefully worked on. All of them have like the biggest pumpkins that they can find, and the carvings. I'm not just talking about like jack-o'-lantern, kind of carvings. I'm talking about those like crazy artist jack-o'-lantern things where they shave off part of the shell so that it like still has the glow, and these are works of art. Not all of them are up to that standard, but many of them are. This is a very serious competition that these
Oh, I
people are very
totally want to
proud
get into
of.
this competition. I totally want to get into
Goracle
this
sort of
competition.
realizing this, sort of like sighs and says, "Well, if we are going to speak with anyone, we might as well try and do it the proper way." And Goracle sort of looks around for a pumpkin.
Oh my god, there are so many pumpkins. This
Uh,
place is just covered in pumpkins. This is a pumpkin growing community, and so this is basically like Pumpkin Fest. And not only, are there carved and painted and whatever pumpkins, but there's just whole pumpkins just everywhere. It doesn't even appear as though like anyone would be able to notice if you took one of the pumpkins, let alone care.
yeah,
Okay. How
Goracle
much
sort
time
of
do we
looks.
have to set this up?
Yeah,
Well, there's a
Goracle.
line of people.
Yeah,
So you
Goracle.
guys can get at the. Oh, I'm sorry, Hazard. You guys can get in at the back of the line before it would get up to the judging. Uh, you know, with plenty of time, you'd have like an hour. I'd say. Okay,
Well,
go ahead, Hazard.
in that case, Goracle looks for the most interesting shaped pumpkin out of the bunch.
Gurkle, we should do this together because Pesci likes your line of thinking and wants to showcase a masterwork.
And Goracle, sort of looking at Pesci, says, "So, it seems like if we're going to talk to this man about town," as he points to the rich folk, it says, "we're going to need to find a good pumpkin to carve. Any suggestions?"
Do we want to go for... Well, Pesci likes to be showy, so he wants something large, I think. And something that would be easy to shape, and something that he can um, do interesting things to the exterior. Like more than a single scene, but like an entire, like more than just like one thing, but just like an entire pattern and scene.
Oh, what if the scene that we portray is an orc army coming to destroy the town?
Ooh.
That would be too on the nose, if you ask me.
Or would we
What
look
if it's an
prop-
orc army that's being spurred on by a dark lord who is forcing them to run and flee?
Goracle sort of like holds up his hands and says, "Hold it, hold it, hold it. We don't
There could
want
be
to
a
talk."
massive eye in the background. It could be called the Eye of... I don't know, Sauron? What's that? How's that name?
Goracle
Agamemnon.
Goracle sort of rolls his eyes and says, "The last thing we need to do is cause a widespread panic. We should make sure that this is something that would not cause a massive hysteria to happen. Understood?"
Oh, fine. Hey, DM, what does other people's pumpkins look like?
The varying pumpkins. Some people have like your standard orange round pumpkin. Some people have those like long, skinny pumpkins that like I call them tall pumpkins. You know, they look like Ernie from Bert and Ernie. You know, and some people have like varying types of gourds, squashes, whatever, that aren't even like your standard orange pumpkin. Some of them are like those yellow, whitish gourds, and some of them are like fantasy gourds that you can't find in the real world. One woman in particular has a completely purple pumpkin that she's carved with like images of witches and the purple glow. I mean, this is the best pumpkin you've ever seen in your life.
Okay. So, based off that information, Pesci wants to find an appropriately shaped and sized pumpkin to carve into it some sort of demon or monster that is common to this region. Um, that is equally spooky as everyone else's.
All right. So first, I'm going to have Gorakul roll an investigation to try and find you a good pumpkin, and then I'm going to have you roll your performance, which will sub in. Oh, so close. Which will
Oh, it was a close to a 20. Oh, they.
So Gorakul unfortunately brings you this like Charlie Brown Christmas tree looking pumpkin. You know, it's a very sad looking pumpkin, but um, he insists that like this is the pumpkin, this is the one.
Okay.
And so now you get to roll your performance, which will sub in for like an artist skill check in order to try and make the pumpkin appropriately pumpkin.
Uh, I wish I could roll a nature check.
Yeah, but you're not growing the pumpkin, you were looking for it. And don't worry,
Um,
Pesci knows how to spruce this up. Oh, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, could we let's. I have an idea. Let's incorporate this pumpkin into a larger pumpkin, and it could be like a pumpkin inception.
Yes, you make a rushing nesting doll type of situation where you actually have one pumpkin carved up really nice to where you can see inside of it, and then the other pumpkin inside has the picture set. You get that shadow box effect of it casting the light out into the other pumpkin, and it just creates this wonderful 3D diorama effect of something that you just wouldn't see every day.
And Gorakul, helping out, decides to use some of the religious iconography he knows to add to the patterns.
As you're trying to do your scene, Gorakul keeps trying to reach in and start carving on the pumpkin, Pesci.
No,
Yeah, she
not
goes,
like
no, do not interrupt the artist's work.
he's not doing that. He's trying
But he does
to like
incorporate
yeah.
some of the symbolism that you
Gotcha.
tell him about for the region.
He's
He
not
incorporates
that.
it.
Gotcha.
He's
You're
not.
you're pointing out what Pesci should add more than trying
Gotcha.
to interfere. Yes, yes,
Okay, yes, that is. He incorporates it as best he can.
yes.
He's a dragon born with manners.
Correct, correct. And so as you guys are lining up with your pumpkin, somewhere near the end of the line now, since most of the people had, gotten in line right away. There's just a couple stragglers, last minute, people making changes and coming. Everybody lines up and the judging begins. And each of you is presenting your pumpkins and you lay them on a huge banquet table before the constable, mayor, whatever you would call him of this town, and everybody just keeps setting their pumpkins down, in front of him, and now there's just this whole uh, row of pumpkins, like line after line of pumpkins, and um, the mayor stands up after everybody has placed their pumpkins and says, "And now, before the winners are announced, everyone raise your mugs and drink deep of the pumpkin ale and celebrate making it through this next winter together as we have for 27 generations." And everybody's like, yeah, everybody's like happy, and they down their mugs of pumpkin ale, and suddenly you hear people start to gag and cough. Their eyes like roll back into their heads, and some of them like fall to the ground grasping at their throats. Everybody is either puking, coughing, rolling on the ground, grabbing at their throats. The mayor himself is doubled over, and suddenly
Gorakul is going to just, as to seeing that, he's going to head to the mayor to see what's wrong.
and as you head to the mayor, you see that him and everyone else has tiny little tendrils of plant material growing out of their nose and throats and up over their heads, and suddenly uh, the material solidifies, and you see a bunch of pumpkin zombies rising up from the ground. These are all the villagers, but now they have pumpkins on their heads, and the tendrils have grown down, and they're not like regular. Oh, we're happy-go-lucky villagers anymore. They're pumpkin zombies.
Literal, yeah. And Gorakul, sort of seeing this, says, "Oh, oh, you've got to be kidding me!"
And
What kind of sorcery is this?
And just because I want to respect, anyone's time frames and everything, I will be a little more heavy-handed with the last clue. Off in the pumpkin field, you suddenly see a giant jack-o'-lantern rise up out of the ground, and its face lights up. There's some sort of lair of a monster in the pumpkin patch. This is not just a case of like something going on here in the village. You have to make it to the pumpkin patch in order to stop the ultimate threat, which is over the bridge at the upper right of the map there. So you got to make it past the pumpkin zombies to the pumpkin field, and then try to stop whatever uh, you know is going on.
As she tries to pull a shot on the dead.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll for initiative, everyone.
Oh,
Some people aren't really restored to their proper health.
Yeah, I'm dead.
I had 19 in the beginning.
chance to do a short rest for everybody.
Yeah. So Perzor, you can spend your hit points as if you had a short rest.
You also get a because of the Song of Rest. You'll get an additional. I think it's a 1d6,
Yes.
or you get one additional hit die worth of or I had to double check the rule.
I think it's 1d6, and it should be on your sheet now.
It is, but it's not telling me the whole rule.
I meant as far as like a healing thing that you can apply.
Gotcha.
It should
Well,
be.
there's 4 healing things. That's why I'm confused.
Hold on.
How
let me
much?
look.
How much HP is a short rest?
It's as many hit dice as you want.
Yeah, as many of your hit dice as you have, you can spend.
So how do we do that here? Because I'm in the same boat.
On the main page, you have a number of hit dice left.
Okay.
So is
And it
it
should be noted
D'Angelo
that
that I'm
you should.
targeting as well?
Okay, so I'm looking at the 1d6, 1d8, 1d. Oh, that's why it has the different ones. Yeah, it should be 1d6 right now.
Okay.
Okay, extra.
I don't know if I have. Did I?
1d8 at 9th level. So until you hit 9th level, it's still 1d8, 1d6.
All right, so it's all right. I'm confused here as to what I'm doing here. I apologize. On me.
All right.
Did I recovery? Do I have 2 more?
What?
I had
It said heal, but it says you got wounded from it. Did it actually heal them or did it wound them?
No, it's my status is now wounded instead of
trying to.
Correct.
like unconscious.
Okay.
And then D'Angelo, when you're rolling your recovery hit dice, it's underneath your HP you see HD,
Right.
and then you see the 4.
Yeah.
That's how many you have.
Right, but I used 2,
And-
but I can't seem to roll any more here at this point.
Do anything?
No.
And you should probably remove the thing
Oh, okay,
from
cool.
Perzor, the paralyzed effect.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was gonna be my next question. Am I still paralyzed?
No, that ended after an hour.
Darkle, if you are healing, you also get a 6 additional hit points. I rolled a 6 on my heal die. I didn't know if you were rolling to recover HP or not.
You're completely healthy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, I don't have to break him open.
Mm-hmm. Combat track.
Okay.
Or you can roll more than 1 hit die worth if you want to heal more.
I did. I rolled 2. The
Did.
first one was a 1.
Oh,
Oof.
I think you can roll up to 4 total.
As many as it says you have there. Yep. It'll
Yeah.
stop
So-
you.
Okay, well,
I mean, you don't have to. You can say.
I might as well. Oh, damn, that was almost a 10.
I mean, I'm already at full health, so I'm good.
Well,
Yeah.
anyone at full health, of course. All right, Pesci, what do you do?
Okay. Do these pumpkin zombies notice us?
Oh yeah. Anyone who this is the LMFAO video. Anyone who's not currently dancing their butt off is going to be targeted.
Dance my butt off and not be targeted?
No. It's if you don't have the pumpkin on your head.
Can I get a pumpkin and put it on my head?
You absolutely can grab a pumpkin and put it on your head.
Okay. Pesci grabs a pumpkin, the pumpkin that he's been carving, and puts it on his head to see if they still are going to target him.
Yeah, and so go ahead and roll your deception, your bluff. Yeah, you like slip right past them. You're all like pumpkin brains. And
Alright, so Pesci is totally You just see Pesci look around, see one of the magnificently carved pumpkins that is head size, quickly like pokes a hole into it with his dagger and just puts it on his head, and then just starts repeating whatever they're saying.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
I start calling out the incorrect name as if I was a barista at Starbucks.
Randor? That's not even a name.
Where is Aaron? Aaron.
At the top of the NFC as he should be. All right. So, is that your turn then, Pesci?
That is. I guess I'll start moving
Yeah.
up to get to where I'm looking. Or does he want to stay behind to help people find pumpkins to put on them?
I don't know.
Does anyone else look like they're gonna take Pesci's idea? Because he'll stay behind to assist.
These
Or
guys.
who's more interested in figuring out what the heck's going on?
Well, obviously, there's a thing controlling him over there. Wait, DM, does
like,
Pesci understand what's going on? Is there like some...
Yeah, when the giant jack-o'-lantern rises up in the pumpkin field, like, it makes a earth tremoring, motion that everybody notices, and then it's also like giant and glowing, and it's probably even over there laughing with the
Okay.
This is Halloween to the extreme.
Okay. So, Pesci tells the party, like, yeah, we're going to have to take care of that in order to take care of these people. So, if we hurt them, they're under control right now. That thing's control. So, we shouldn't try to hurt them if we can avoid it. So, if we can sneak past these guys and
A noble gesture.
focus on them, that would be ideal.
Alrighty then. If that's what you suggest, I'll take it.
Alright, so Pesci will stay behind to assist other people in their pumpkin disguises.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if Pesci assists with pumpkin disguises, then you guys have successfully, finished getting past these guys effectively, because that's all it was either you were going to have to fight them, or you were going to have to disguise yourselves, and you figured out to just disguise yourselves. So, congratulations.
I have to say, I always wanted to pull a Shaun of the Dead with zombies.
Yeah. So now I will get us to the other map, and we will begin the pumpkin patch encounter. Yeah, good job. That was the first encounter you guys have figured out the non-combat solution towards?
The troll.
Oh, the troll, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Second, oh, you guys are on a fucking roll. Oh, sorry, the language.
You're good. That's all good.
Sorry. Got a little
We're-
excited.
We're all adults here.
Yeah, I know, but I try to be more professional than that.
I do like the light that the lanterns give off. The pumpkin lair.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
I like this fog.
Ooh.
So yeah, as you guys approach the pumpkin patch, you can see that several of the pumpkins have grown to monstrous proportions, and they've all been tainted by whatever is coming from inside of that giant central jack-o'-lantern's mouth. It's like a cave that leads down into the ground. The rest of them are just sitting there laughing, demonic laughter, as their baleful orange light glows out over the pumpkin patch. A fog begins to roll out of the mouth of the giant jack-o'-lantern and covers the ground. It's not so bad that like you guys can't see at all. Like you can pretty much see what you can see due to the light and all of that, but it's thick enough that everything is, just a little bit scarier. Just like if something comes up on you, it's going to jump out at you just that much more. And so the thick fog covers some of the movement, but then you're made very painfully aware as you approach the giant jack-o'-lantern that you are not alone. And so I get you guys onto the map here, and then I'm going to turn off token locks so that you can kind of put yourselves in whatever order you want to be in. I'm just grouping you up here. And so go ahead and put yourselves in whatever order you want to be in there.
Question, DM.
Yes.
If it turns to my turn, could I possibly roll a Arcana, Nature, or History check?
You can do a whole lot of stuff before it's your turn. Even what in particular are you trying to ascertain?
Trying to figure out the nature of this sort of phenomenon.
Yes. Okay. So you should definitely roll for religion.
Is there something that I can roll for to find out more information about, like, the creature that would cause this?
Yeah, you can roll like a basic bardic knowledge check using history as your base in order to see what you know about anything like this.
Not much.
Yeah, you guys aren't sure, although Gorakul, you do get the feeling that this is something perhaps demonic in nature.
Everyone be careful. This could be a force of fiendish nature.
I'm sure that it is. Let's go figure out how to free these villagers, though. We're going to need them.
All right.
I don't think he will be as easily fooled.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can go ahead and roll for initiative, and as you approach, there's more of the villagers. They come pouring out of the mouth of the cave jack-o'-lantern whatever, and as they come forward, you can tell that like they're not going to be as easily fooled as the others here in the presence of whatever this is.
All right.
So do we have to kill the villagers who have been?
You don't have to kill them, but they are going to attack you.
So who has spell capabilities to? I do not have good initiative, but who does?
Yes, sir. We can just kill them and then revive them. That's they're zombies anyway.
Or we could just knock them out.
Yes,
We
you
could
can
knock
always
them out.
choose to use non-lethal damage.
Are they aware of us? I mean, we're still disguised, right?
Yes, but you can tell already that like they've locked onto you. They can sense you. They're more aggressive in the presence of whatever this is.
So where is the whatever this is? Is it
Up at the
where,
top of the map, the giant glowing
ah,
jack-o'-lantern
the
cave.
giant glowing thing?
So I guess my question is, who has? Wow, Goracool, you have some good skills here. Um, like magic and things that can basically put them to sleep or knock them unconscious. Because all I have are things to shoot them.
I don't really have too many spell slots left, so I would prefer not to use anything until we get to the boss monster.
Look, we're
The
I have Thunder Wave, and that could possibly knock
At
them
least
all
those
out
are
of the way.
I got
we
nothing.
could potentially create a distraction. I could distract them with a combination
You
of
mean
like minor images, minor illusions, and then you can
you
guys can
mean
like go
like
around them.
you mean as in something similar to the pantless gnome rocket?
Well, if you want an encore of the mighty pantsless fireworks Pesci, I'm more than happy to perform said acts. All you have to do is ask.
That was my attempt at humor. I was
Oh.
trying to be sarcastic.
As Pesci looks somewhat disappointed as he starts putting his belt back on. So are these monsters like gonna are they looking like they're gonna come at us, or are they waiting for us to like approach more? DM.
Oh no, they are definitely charging you.
Oh, they're charging us. Um could let's see if we can go around them. Can we like pull them out and then get them stuck on something and then go around them? Like, so there's this cliff here on the right or left. Could we like go out a little bit and scramble up and then run back in?
Well, I mean, you guys can do whatever you want on your turns. Speaking of which, it's Goracool's.
Well, seeing that this sort of seeing that Gorakul is going to be like trying to figure out something or other, Gorakul decides to get to a higher ground and jump use jump to get to higher ground.
The spell jump?
Yes.
How far does that give you? 20 feet? Oh, 3 times strength score. Ah. Yeah. That might be enough. What's your strength? Oh, yeah, a 30 strength. Okay. Um, so, you would be able to jump up onto that cliff to your right there. No, no, not that far. Like just up the cliff. Yeah, there you go. And then, is that your turn?
And after using that, Gorakul is going to move himself right over here.
Your movement was jumping.
Oh, sorry, just that'll be it.
Yeah,
And
that's why I said you
Gorakul's
couldn't get further up there, because
yeah. So, care to flavor the how I use the jump spell?
there's not much to flavor. Your legs like become very strong, and you jump up into the air and land on the cliff with a heavy
I mean,
thud.
I mean, like as Goraku sort of taps his leg a bit, sort of like a sort of like constellation, sort of push him forward.
Yeah, that's right. Your star themed stuff. Well, I mean, there you go. You can describe that as well if you
Sorry,
like.
I'm sorry. I just
If you
like
like, if
you
you
do
like,
it the best.
I know, but I like to encourage you to take ownership of the descriptions of it because I can only ever tell you from my perspective what I see, whereas this is your character. And so, if what you see in your head is that Gorakul crouches down and springs up, and as he does, a trail of comet dust is left in his wake as he rockets up onto the cliff, I mean, don't let me ever stop you. I'll let you describe that all day.
Alrighty.
But yeah, uh, that is absolutely how I would see that now that you've reminded me of your star effect is that you have that comet dust coming off of you.
Indeed.
All right, so the the zombie kind of charges forward and then moves another 30 feet forward and then moves a final 30 feet forward but cannot
What?
attack. Yeah, they have aggressive. They can move 30 feet towards an opponent as a bonus action.
Wow.
Bring them all up. Bring them all up. Let's go.
Yep. And so you already know how this is gonna go. They all get right up in here,
You,
and as they kind of block your path forward, you guys can begin formulating your plan. Oh, there he is.
Um,
This guy's way up there yet. Ooh.
yeah, my plan is to beat the crap out of people because that's what I do. I'm just ready to bite, ready to fight, ready to do everything we need to do.
Oh,
All right.
absolutely. And just as a reminder, um, as long as the last hit that drops them to 0 is non-lethal damage, all you did was knock them out.
All right, I'm ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna rage. Right, I want to rage. Correct me if I'm
yeah.
wrong for those. Okay. Yep. All right.
Just be sure you specify your damage is non-lethal.
My damage is non-lethal, even though I really want it to be lethal because these people just kind of bite me.
Just knock the jack-o'-lantern off their head. That might
That'll
be
do
enough.
it. That'll do it. All right, so I got an attack here. All right, I'm just gonna I'm not gonna use my. I guess I could just use my bite. I mean, my bite is unlimited, right? I can just bite every single time, correct?
Yes, sir. And
All right.
also, if you said that in character, that's a point of inspiration for suggesting to knock the jack-o'-lanterns off the head.
It's definitely was in character there, Pesci.
Okay.
We're excited.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I'm shooting to do. I'm gonna knock. I'm shooting for head damage. All right.
Oh, knock
Okay,
thy pumpkin
so-
off thine head.
So when you make a specific target, it's done at -2, but if you hit, all you have to do is succeed at a grapple check instead of dealing damage, and then you'll rip the pumpkin right off of their head.
Okay, so I'm rolling at disadvantage to
Nope.
hit.
-2, right on, right next to the disadvantage.
Gotcha. All right.
It's better than disadvantage. It's still -2, but
Gotcha.
but you hit. So now you grab onto the pumpkin with your claws. I know it
Yep.
says great axe. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
And then now roll the grapple at the bottom.
Grapple at the bottom. Grapple. Yeah, grapple. Okay.
And so you rip the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern, off of this guy, and he turns back into a regular villager who is dazed and stunned and doesn't know what's going on.
Okay, get the hell out of here. Run behind us. All right, we're gonna try to get all your friends freed up here. Let's see what we can do. All right, so that's my turn. I don't need to fight
Oracle
anybody.
sees that. He says, "All right then. If any of these zombies approach, rip the pumpkin off of their heads."
All right.
And so the next zombies come charging down.
I haven't seen him since August.
Hold on.
Bitey is going to move forward and say, Bitey's gonna take care of this, and blasts one of the yellow musk pumpkin zombies in the pumpkin head with her actually no, I'm gonna use Mage Hand and try and grapple that off of there.
Like
Well,
grab
that
the
was my
stem.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that I was gonna just do
10
what.
pounds of force.
Yeah, but then I realized that you guys want to rip these pumpkins off. Like, yeah, I can totally do that. All right, so let's see. Basically, the mage hand should automatically grab it, as far as I can tell. And
It's like opening a container, which
yeah,
you can do.
yeah, and so I just roll my grapple.
Oh.
I try, but the mage hand is just not strong enough. Bitey, not strong enough.
It's okay, Slayer. We still love you. Bitey Slayer's okay.
Just having a little trouble with the mage hand.
Okay, hold on for a second. Lucy, you're up. Lucy.
You got some
So
splaining to do.
we've discovered that if we can rip the pumpkins off of their heads,
They're free?
they're free, but that requires you to do a slightly different type of attack. You're going to have to rush up to. You should have enough. Well, does she have enough movement strength to get to
Yes.
7 there,
Yes.
and then to be able to attack?
Yes.
Okay, so
Get off the quarterstaff?
no. Well, whatever attack you want to use, you can use, right?
Okay.
Just use your claws, and then once you hit, you use your grapple to rip the pumpkin off.
Okay.
There you go. Now you want to move yourself from here, like to there. You go. Yeah, I think you can go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right next to the guy, perfectly. Yep, there you go.
That good?
Yep. Good. Now what you want to do is target it. Control, target. Yep. Cool. Hit click on. Good. Okay. Now you're gonna use your cat claws. Put your -2. Hit the little -2 finger. Okay. Now your cat claws. We'll roll a baby. Ew.
Oh no.
Okay, good try.
So you try to grab a hold of the pumpkin, but it's a little rotted and soft, and your claws rip through it.
All right. First up.
I'm about to die, is that what
No, you're not about to die. You got plenty of hit points. You can go back.
I'm hitting turn complete.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say, it looks like she has full hit points.
Yeah, she'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine. She's fine.
I'm gonna move up there and attempt to smack the goblin, the jack-o'-lantern off of the zombie's head.
Yep. Don't forget the neg too.
Uh, I think I should be disadvantaged.
Because you're so short. That is.
No,
That
no,
is
I think.
probably a good idea.
Well, no, I think my sword does not want me to go for a non-lethal blow.
Ooh, the Sword of Vengeance, as long as you haven't been hit by him yet, isn't going to actually like cause you to have to kill him.
Oh, is that how it works? I thought it was.
Yeah, if it attacks you, then it's I'm pretty sure I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's
It's
how
a matter of retaliation.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you take damage in combat.
Ah, okay. All right. Well.
So yeah, just neg 2.
All right. So neg 2 attacking that one with the sword.
Ooh, here you go.
It's pretty solid.
Yep. And then just do the grapple check.
Less solid.
Ugh. Yep. So unfortunately, this one's pumpkin is just kind of slimed onto it.
And that'll be my turn. Let me go back to the combat tracker. And there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, she distract them.
Yeah. So, does anyone have rope?
Yeah?
I think we can.
I think we all do, right?
I do not. I just looked through my inventory. I have no rope.
Inventory. Rope. I've got rope.
Okay. DM, does Pesci think that he could use a combination of himself and a mage hand to like trip up these zombies? Because they don't seem to be very intelligent. They just seem to be very focused on attacking.
Oh no, they're intelligent. Like not intelligent, but intelligent enough to where like they're not just gonna trip on a rope.
Okay. Um, then I guess could I don't know, could I do something to distract them? If they're intelligent enough to not trip on the rope, then I suspect that they're not gonna be they're gonna be intelligent enough to.
You could try to distract them. It just depends on what you do.
Alright. Pesci approaches up the corner here. And in this pumpkin patch over opposite to us, behind the pumpkin patch, he wants to attract their attention that way. So he's going to make an illusion of I guess Bitey Slayer taunting them.
Okay.
Although the image is static, but the sound is the image static? What does this look like over here? Let me double check the minor illusion. You create a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts the duration. Okay. Yeah, so I create an illusion of Bitey Slayer taunting them, telling them that their pumpkins are terrible and that it's they're not really scary and they're all gonna lose. And I'll put that far away from us, so that way they get distracted. I think my range is 30 on this, so I want to make it 30 feet away to make them go in that direction to see if I can peel some of them off.
Okay. Yeah, so the image pops up.
Okay. And I'm out of Bardic Inspiration because I can't recover from short rests yet. So I can't do anything else there. Can I move back towards the party?
Yes, as long as it's within your movement.
Yeah, this is within my movement. And I will end my turn.
The large pumpkin next to Perzor begins to grow, and huge leg and arm like vines thicken and extend from its pumpkin body.
Ew.
It stands up some 12 feet tall and attacks.
Ah, this will be fun.
An ogre pumpkin. Yay, ogre pumpkin!
And it
Completely
misses.
missing.
Yeah.
If you think you miss a lot now, wait until I get any piece of armor.
Right?
Okay, Gorkul, what do you want to do here?
Well, seeing that there's a giant ogre pumpkin attacking Perzor, and the fact that there are a bunch of other smaller pumpkin zombies attacking, so weighs out like reducing the numbers and decides to use his thorn whip to
The threat
remove.
the threat is in the cave.
Yeah. And sort of like deciding to use his movement to how far can Gorakul move?
Should be 30.
So Gorakul moves 30 feet this way, and just to help out, uses Thorn Whip on Musk Zombie number 2.
You can't reach it. 15-foot reach. Or wait, how far does Thorn Whip go? 15 feet, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it is 15 feet.
Yeah, no, that's 30 feet down a cliff.
Wait, it is 30 feet.
It's 30 feet?
Yes.
That's a long whip. Let me see. Taking a look. Range 30 feet. Go for it.
And this,
You're
and I'll
targeting
be,
yourself. Be careful. There you go.
and I'm aiming at the head, so -2 or
-2. If you're trying to get the pumpkin off. All right, now the grapple, the opposed grapple. As your whip of vines extends out and wraps around the top of the pumpkin, it pulls it off like popping the cap off of an acorn, and he, reverts back into a villager, and then
Way to go!
gets out of
Nice.
there.
Nice. Well
Awesome.
done.
Nice.
And
Gorakul's just trying his best to help.
you did great. I move forward and attack Perzor.
There's too many of these guys to really be doing this with. Oof.
Yeah, well, Everybody's attacking us now. They get their first round of attacking.
I don't know
So,
how strong these guys are, so I'm like hesitant to use sleep. Although I guess I could try. None of them are falling for my illusion.
The ones that are close enough to see it, because you said you cast it like over back by the left-hand cliff, right?
I cast it. You see this pumpkin patch that's opposite of us? I cast it behind there, like opposite of us,
Up
basically mirroring us.
up on the cliff?
No, I can't like ping the map. But okay, so these two pumpkins to our left. That's on the opposite pumpkin patch to us.
Yes.
The square that is between the large pumpkin and the cliff. That's where I cast it.
Right. So the ones like 3 and 8 would be most likely to be affected by that. And then
Okay.
maybe 9, you know.
Okay.
So 2 of the zombies rush in and attack Lucy, but only one of them hits D'Angelo.
okay, I'm gonna go after the big nasty character because that's what I do. All right, you guys keep knocking.
Time to eat some pumpkin.
Time to eat some pumpkin. All right.
And
So
just to be clear, this is not a villager. This is just a pumpkin.
yeah, no, I got you here. I'm ready to go. So I can attack. I'm still raging, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm using my great axe and I'm biting at the same time. Well, obviously I'm using my great axe and then I'm biting. So now I have got it. Yep, great axe, bang, got that, bang. I'm gonna bite, which is that, right?
Yeah, but remember you gotta attack with it first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're probably gonna hit, but yeah, all good.
Now I hit the button. Okay.
No, you already did the damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. My bad.
It's okay. It's only
Cool.
6 damage. I got it.
Oh, now my hungry jaws gets me to heal myself again, right? Because I'm using that.
Yes.
Cool.
Temporary health.
I like having some temporary health because I'm going to need it here. I'm going up against an ogre. All right.
Care to describe what happens, DM?
He just did.
Okay.
I just freaking slashed the heck out of that pumpkin. I got pumpkin juice all over me, but I'm a lizard. I'm enjoying it.
And this zombie is going.
This little zombie went to the pumpkin patch. This little zombie went home. This little zombie had roast beef. This little zombie
here. And now I have advantage attacking Perzor. No, 19.
That sucks.
And now you see the threat as it comes out of the cavern. It floats eerily towards you.
Ooh.
It is a pumpkin with vines of other pumpkins all around it. You have seen a creature not unlike this before. It is not unlike a beholder, though made completely out of pumpkins. Its large central eye focuses on what's going on down here by its minions, and it floats towards you, blasting eye rays, although none of them like particularly come close this round. It's just like blasting rays out of its pumpkins, orange pumpkin spiced rays blasting every which way. All right, number 3 is going to potentially be fooled, and is. And so they kind of wander off over down here trying to attack the illusion. But obviously there's nothing to roll, so it's just an illusion.
It's an illusion, Michael.
And then I move through here, but as I take my final step to here, Lucy, you get an attack of opportunity.
On which character there? She gets.
The zombie 6 at the bottom by D'Angelo.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you grab the pumpkin off of his head quick, he might not even get an attack.
So
So how do I do that? Do I need to move?
now you target him. Target zombie 6.
Am I targeting him, DM?
I'm not sure.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. You gotta make combat tracker bigger. I can't see your.
Oh,
character.
hold on. Yeah, you're also targeting 7. I got you. I'll take 7 off, and there you go. You're good.
Okay. Now you're loading up. Now you're targeted. Okay. So go over to your actions. You got it. Okay. You want to use your long. No, use your dagger.
No,
Oh, sorry. Use your cat claws.
dagger, claws, whatever. Yeah, any of the melee ones.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. -2 first.
Oh.
Roll -2 first. You're gonna try to grapple it off. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
Gotcha.
now the grapple.
Grapple. Pull that. Move that.
Oh, I
slide
roll it?
Just slide over here.
Yeah. Yep. And then I'll. Oh. Phew.
Perfect.
And I roll a 1. So what happens is this villager zombie pumpkin tries to slide past Lucy, and as it does, her cat-like reflexes allow her clawed hand to reach out and grab the pumpkin, kind of like a NFL player face masking somebody and just ripping the helmet right off. As the pumpkin pulls off, the slime covered villager just kind of looks at you and just screams because it's staring at the face of lizard folk dripping with like what looks like guts, even though it's just the pumpkin guts. But still, the mouth of the lizard folk is dripping with these oozing tendril slimy thing, and it just screams and runs and gets out of there.
That's a critical grapple. Critical grapple.
Well, at least they're safe.
Yeah, it's just as fun as killing them, and they get to live. So this zombie also comes down to help attack the illusionary bitey slayer, but this is the only round that they're gonna do so, because like now that they've like swung at it and been like, oh, okay, this is like nothing. And then bitey mage hands again. Oh, come on, bitey trying.
Bitey trying. We love Bubby. Bitey. Okay, so can she grapple 7? Can Lucy grapple 7 at advantage because of where she is relative to Perzoor?
No. That requires you to be opposite sides.
Okay.
So if she were to be able to get into 10's space, then yes.
Right. So she.
Can you move?
Well, so
Can I signal to Lucy real quick?
go.
Pesci holds his hand up to wait until after he moves to Lucy.
Oh, you want Lucy to wait till after Pesci moves?
Yeah. Pesci will move right in behind 5.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, you could do that. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to wait your turn till Pesci goes.
Okay,
That's actually a good idea.
I'm gonna wait until Pesci goes.
Okay, so you're holding your turn. Yep.
Holding your turn. Yeah, Perzer goes after 7, I guess. That'll make it easier.
7?
I would think so. Oh, you want to go after the you want to go after the you want to go after the big guy. Okay, you go after the big guy.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going.
Okay, go for it.
He seems like a handful.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and attack him. Him not being a villager, I'm okay with doing lethal damage on that.
Oh yeah. This is pumpkin smashing time.
Yeah, let's go. And then I'm going to... Action Surge comes back after a short rest, right?
I think it does. I will double check for you real quick right now, sir. I thought it did. I don't know.
It just says summary
short
additional
or long
action.
rest. Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Action Surge and hit him again. I hope. Nope.
Yes.
Oh, it was a... Huh? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, close to minimum damage.
Hey, damage is damage.
Indeed it is. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my second wind.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, it comes back after a short rest as well.
Oof. Still, 7 more.
7 more is better than nothing.
That's right.
And then that'll be it.
All right.
Behind the yellow musk. And he's going to cast Heroism as a level 2 spell, so he can target 2 creatures.
Yes.
Um,
The ogre zombie and one of the yellow monks.
Heroism is a touch ability that gives temporary hit points. So I don't want to give temporary hit points to other things.
So Perzor and D'Angelo, then obviously.
Well, D'Angelo has its own. He has his own generation way of generating temporary hit points.
That's true. So who's the other one? Yourself?
I'm considering myself.
Ah, okay.
Because you also get immunity to being frightened.
True.
And I know that because he's raging, he's not going to be as affected by being frightened.
True.
So, yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah, works
D'Angelo,
for me.
you good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay. So, Perzor, I am targeting you and myself. And I don't have Heroism as a level 2 spell.
I will fix that for you.
I kind of wish I could just, tell it which spell slot I want to use it as. I don't think it does anything else besides just giving you an additional target.
Oh yeah, it's just one additional target. That's why.
So I could just use it as is and mark down level 2.
Just mark down your slot exactly.
Okay. So I'm hoping this works properly. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this. I does not look like I got 3 temporary hit points. Oh no, I did. Cool. And I'm going to mark down a level 2 spell slot, so that means I have 2 spell slots left. And can I do something as a bonus action? Vicious Mockery is an action. Minor Illusion is an action. All my other stuff are actions, so I can't do anything else. Okay, that's my turn.
Now, Lucy, it's not 7, but 5 that you would have advantage on.
It's your turn.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so now you have to attack 5. You're going after 5.
Don't have to, but
You should.
You should. That's a good idea.
Did you set me up for it, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm doing.
yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like words like have to, you know.
So you're targeting.
Did I enter?
Now you target. Okay, good. Now you're rolling an advantage.
Purzor, you're going to get 3 temporary hit points at the beginning of each of your turns.
Advantage, but still -2.
So -2.
Yep. So just click both of them. Yep. There you go.
Cool. Yeah, fine.
Oh, my steps. Grapple?
Got it.
Yep. And now grapple.
Also advantage or no?
No. The grapple doesn't receive the advantage.
Oh, what was up with that?
The hit receives the advantage. You had a -2 on there though. Let me just make sure that's not due to strength. Oh, that is due to
Isn't
strength.
grapple also a dex-based move?
No. It's just strength in this because you got to use strength to rip it off.
Escaping can be strength or dex.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
I could have what?
No, it's okay. I mean, it didn't work out.
Yeah, you hit, you grab the pumpkin, but it wouldn't come off of the villager's head.
Because I'm
Not strong enough.
Yeah, you're a cat, not a lion. You know.
Okay.
just a little bit of bias.
Meow.
It
You gotta end your
count
turn.
that I have a lion's heart?
Has a heart of a lion, but you can end your turn now. It's okay.
You can have the heart of a lion, just not the biceps.
You haven't seen the biceps.
Wouldn't it be an athletics check?
Nope, it's just straight up grappling to rip it off.
Come on, Anthony.
All right, Purzor, I am going to attack you again. Aha! You get smashed. It says Morningstar, but it's just a giant spiky vine of a fist that smashes down on Purzor.
Zombie 8.
Well, it hasn't eaten yet, but it is hoping to.
Got him.
Hey,
Oh no.
did I get an attack of opportunity there if he went by me?
No, because he didn't leave your threatened range.
Hold up. I'm guessing he's going to attack either D'Angelo or Pesci. Probably Pesci.
Pesci.
Yeah, I want to give him disadvantage on that, and I forgot how to do it.
Don't worry about it.
Fighting
Right now.
style.
It's done now. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. So he rolls normal because obviously it would have been advantage, and then there you go. Hey,
I tried.
and you maintain your concentration. No, you got your shield up just in time for Pesci to be bruised but not bloodied and maintain his concentration.
So Gorakul, seeing this sort of pumpkin entity, says, "Well, this is my first time seeing the combination of the two." And he's going to sort of like try and get to hide in cover to prepare to. He's going to first grab another pumpkin off of another head and then hide under cover if he succeeds or not.
Okay. So you got to get right up to the edge of the cliff there.
What we need is a mass levitate to just levitate all the pumpkin heads off of the zombies.
Ooh, yeah. Bitey keeps trying to use the mage hand, but it just ain't working for her.
Pesci tells Bitey to focus on the ogre.
That's a good idea. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Wait, it always gets this wrong. It is you that is attacking him that succeeds. I don't know why it gets that wrong and has the person, who's defending win on a tie like that.
So which one is that? That was 7?
10.
Doesn't
10?
tie go to the defender?
No, it always goes to the attacker. You have to meet or beat the difficulty class. So like
Oh yeah, like an AC,
exactly.
yeah, okay.
You got it.
After Gorakul yanks off the pumpkin, he hides behind 2 other pumpkins.
2 giant pumpkins that are some 5 feet tall. You crouch down behind them and wait for the beholder pumpkin.
Yes, to like get to a certain position.
Yes.
And is it possible to roll an Arcana to figure out the sort of nature of this beholder lantern, or should I wait next turn?
It's a beholder that has taken the form of a pumpkin.
So nothing new to understand here.
Yeah, no new information.
Except for wondering why a beholder would want to take the form of a pumpkin.
Why do beholders do anything?
Racism normally.
No, xenophobia, yeah. That's not wrong.
And also paranoia.
And paranoia, correct. Oh no, Lucy's starting to get beat up by the pumpkin zombie villager a little bit. D'Angelo? Oh, there he goes.
Brian, I think you're muted if you're trying to say
Yeah,
anything.
no, I'm experiencing technical difficulties, but it's all good. Okay, so
Yep.
I beat him up. I gotta get more heavy damage on him. I'm gonna bite him because I like biting. I'm gonna hurt him a little bit more, and I give myself a little bit more help there. Okay.
Correct.
I'm an excited lizard folk who's killing pumpkins today. I'm liking it.
And I attack Perzor.
Miss. Told you.
And now the beholder lantern floats forward 20 feet and then launches a beam at let's say D'Angelo, since he's like taller and sticking out above everybody.
So what's my save? Do I get a save?
Oh yeah, you'll get something. We'll see.
Something.
We'll see what we got here.
I gotta dance.
All right.
Ah.
No, 19. He blasts you with a eerie orange beam. You can tell that it's meant to frighten you, but you're like, I'm not afraid of pumpkin spice.
I like it.
My
Okay.
name's not Dean Angelo.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Come
about
on.
to attack D'Angelo.
Good luck with that.
Ooh, no, that. Oh, good, it's a miss anyway. I'm like, that should not have been an advantage. I'm gonna have to re-roll that. I'm
I'm
about to
impervious again.
kill your favorite NPC pet.
No, no one can kill Bitey Slayer. Bitey Slayer is invulnerable to attacks.
We hope.
Ah.
She's
It's okay.
wounded.
No,
She
Heidi.
she tries to use Mage Hand.
We told her to attack the ogre pumpkin.
Help
Oh
her.
yeah, but should I not like stop the one from killing me?
True.
I mean, I definitely agree that I should use Firebolt optimally, but now that this one
No,
charges me,
that's true.
yeah. Come on, Bitey.
Bitey's just having a difficult time with the grapple.
No, 19. She is not a wrestler.
Get rid of this pumpkin ogre here, Perzor. Let's just get rid of this damn thing.
Yeah, I'd like to. Believe it or not, I don't like being surrounded by a bunch of zombie pumpkins.
Temporary hit points at the start of your turn. Doesn't look like you did.
Let's see. For you, I would say
How do I get it at the start of every turn?
I would go.
Every one of your turns, you get 3.
You just reapply it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and he got it. So there you go.
Well, I
Cool.
just put it in
Yeah.
there. I don't actually get to see what heroism does.
All it does is it gives you advantage to fear checks, and it gives you whatever my charisma bonus is and temporary hit points at the start of each of your turns.
Okay.
Which is probably important
Exactly.
since that guy just used a fear spell.
True.
Yeah. Totally
Alright.
didn't think that they'd be using fear at all. I was just like,
The
he's
temporary hit
raging,
point.
and I want to make sure everyone has enough fear stuff.
Oh man, tragic. All right, that's all I can really do.
Wow, that was. We've been rolling
Oh.
poorly. Alright, I need to give myself some temporary hit points.
Oh, it looks like I get the temporary hit points at the start of your turn.
Is it my turn? I thought it was your turn.
I don't know. It just says effect, heroism, immune, frightened.
It says at the start of each of its turns. So it's
Hello.
not my turn, it's whoever I targeted's turn.
Yeah, but whenever I passed it to you, it looks like the log looks like
Oh,
that's
that's
when it
me.
tried.
That's me. I'm doing.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Just doing
Alright.
stuff. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Okay. Sorry.
That's what it says on your Discord.
That's what it says.
Okay. So Mage Hand requires concentration, and I can't maintain. Oh no, it doesn't require concentration. Oh wow, that is amazing.
So I've just been hooked up to the temporary hit point font. Give me my fountain of temporary hit points.
I really just want to disengage and move back so I don't have to worry about this targeting business nonsense again. Alright. Pesci casts Mage Hand at the Yellow Musk Zombie 8 to try and knock its pumpkin off. And he says, we need to focus on that big scary thing in the back.
Yes.
A little busy here.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say when you're not fighting the 12-foot tall pumpkin monster.
And literally surrounded by zombies.
So what do you want me to do, DM? Do you just want me to roll grapple?
Yes. When you cast the Mage Hand, it's just a grapple. It's an automatic hit and an automatic failure, apparently. Oh wait,
You're
cannot
grappling yourself.
grapple because targeting self. But then you did also fail to grapple the other one, so you're good.
Wait, was I grappling? Which one was I grappling?
Yellow Musk 8.
Was I targeting it?
Yeah, you were targeting it.
Okay.
But your mage hand failed to rip the pumpkin off. For whatever reason, the mage hands seem to like pass through
Wait
the
a
pumpkins
minute.
more easily.
Wait, isn't it less than what he rolled? Like, isn't 18 less than 20?
No, it's more than 6.
No, that the 6 was at Pesci's cells.
No.
No, so it was if you see down below where it says Pesci versus Yellow Musk, it's Athletic 6. So the first roll was that one and not the 20. Which the 20 was because I was targeting myself by accident.
Correct.
So it would have been a failure anyway.
Correct.
Which sucks.
But now it's Lucy's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go for 5.
Pesci is less willing to deal with this now and is more saying, we need to focus on that. We can't, like, unfortunately for these people, we can't save them anymore.
5's already targeted, right?
5 is already targeted, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the whole. Is it with advantage? -2?
Yes.
Yep.
Advantage, -2.
All right, cat's close. Cool.
Doesn't
It's a
appear-
hit.
And you can do it non-lethally.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. You rip the pumpkin off. You're almost frustrated with not having been able to do this before, and the pumpkin is smashed to the ground as the villager kind of wobbles and then gets the hell out of there.
Go.
Come on, Ogre Pumpkin. Do your worst.
I'm gonna try to do my best, but
Yeah, well.
all right. I do not have advantage unless I attack D'Angelo. I am not smart enough to switch my target. I attack. No, give me the 19.
Don't give you the 19.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree here.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lots of misses here.
I hope so. For them,
Cool.
not us. I want us to hit.
So, Oracle, knowing that the beholder's power is tied to their eye, and seeing that the beholder is not focused on him, decides to hit the beholder right in the eye with a magic stone.
All right, that's -5 to hit.
All right, he's going to roll 20.
Don't jinx it, Dad.
Okay, he's going to roll a 1.
Your stone flies out from your hand as you stand up behind the pumpkins. It almost strikes the beholder in the eye, but it does strike it on the side of the pumpkin, so you still deal damage.
Good.
But you didn't hit the
And
eye.
Goracle, sort of realizing he didn't hit the eye, decides to duck back down
Yes.
to make himself hidden as possible.
And also you get a point of inspiration for trying to hit the eye.
Okay, a couple more misses here, and then I'm going to try to get rid of this Ogre Pumpkin thing here. Let's go. Miss. Thank you. Next up, another miss. Yep, keep telling you these things. You don't even have to roll them. You can just ask me. I'll know exactly what's going to happen.
Right?
Sure. All right. So targeting the ogre pumpkin. Alrighty.
Oh, we just
baby.
lost Gabe.
No. Oh, I hit him anyway. That's cool.
Oh yeah, you
Bite
basically
'em.
can't miss this huge thing. You're just wrapped around it, biting on it, swinging your axe.
Still alive, I assume. It's still
Yes, yes,
running.
yeah. It'd say dead
Okay,
or
well, I'm gonna take a
dying.
bite at it. Biting. Okay. Yeah.
The beholder lantern comes 20 feet closer and blasts D'Angelo with a paralyzing ray.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Hold on. Let's make that disadvantaged. Sorry.
No, no worries. It's all good, and I will go ahead and roll again. Oh wait, there's
Yeah,
how are you disadvantaging the? It's a save. You would give him advantage on a save.
it's not a. He's not attacking him.
Nope.
Okay, if it's not an attack, then I don't think I can do anything.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. So you fail your save as the orange beam takes a hold of you. You are paralyzed in place. But a save will end it. You'll get one each of your turns.
Okay. That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking advantage of you being still, the zombies start to pound on you.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, the next one. Oh, I can't affect Body Slayer.
Ow!
Bitey Slayer hurt.
Bitey gonna make you pay for that one. Mm.
This is so annoying.
What is happening? I was so happy to get the 17. I was like, okay, that's a good roll. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh.
All right. It happens.
All right. Well, I'm gonna still work on the ogre pumpkin.
Yep. Ah! Okay, well, it's big enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just too big to miss.
Yeah, really.
Too big to fail. And as your sword of vengeance chops down on the thing that just hit you, it drives you with a magical anger to hack and slash at its viney kneecap appendages until it falls to the ground, and you smash every bit of the gourd's shell until there's nothing but pumpkin guts and seeds spread all over the ground.
This is exactly how I feel when I carve pumpkins.
Yeah, me too. That's why I haven't done it in 20 years. All right, and then is that your turn, Perzor?
That is my turn. Oh, I need to hit the button.
Button? Who's got the
Me.
button?
Every time.
Yeah, that is the thing that takes that's going to take me the longest to remember to do.
It's okay.
I'm not liking being here at this location, but there's not really much I can do about it.
You can move one square diagonal down without provoking an attack of opportunity, which would at least like shuffle you away from some of it.
Well, wouldn't it provoke 3?
Oh, you're right, 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Never mind.
Yeah, you should probably just attack.
All right.
Just use your mage hand, I guess. You know, that'd probably be better.
I was considering using Dissonant Whispers on the Beholder.
Yeah. Hey, do whatever you feel is best.
Use Dissonant Whispers on the Beholder.
A beholder,
I
right?
think he's within range.
He's about 45 feet away.
Yeah, so he's in range. I guess I'll cast this as level 1. So Pesci uses Dissonant Whispers. Yeah, so he takes half damage.
Yep. So you just roll and it'll automatically, you know. Yeah.
Ah, that was a terrible roll. Oh well. And let me mark the spell slot. Make sure I have 3. Okay. And Pesci takes out his quarterstaff. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing else he can do, unfortunately.
Okay. You got a target 7.
That's my turn.
Yep, it's your turn.
If we can take out the beholder, then these villagers would be
Then don't move.
a
Don't move.
non-issue.
No, I moved her. Advantage.
Oh, good point.
Oh, okay. So who am I going for?
7 still.
Got it. Yeah.
Did I target?
Yes, you are.
It's not showing up. It's so close. I can't. All right.
Okay, you got to go over here. You got to roll.
Well, am I advantage, disadvantage?
Advantage.
Advantage.
Advantage
minus-
-2. Correct.
You're so good.
And really,
You're so excellent. I'm not mansplaining. I'm just helping. Oh, 20.
then grapple.
Shouldn't that automatically then grapple? She got 20 on the grapple.
It is a 20 on the hit.
Yeah, but it should be perfect. It should be like
He explained this already.
So basically, as her claws sink in, they like rip through the flesh of the pumpkin. But here's where the critical effect comes into play. Decapitation. Your target's head is decapitated, slashing weapon, which is what you have. But obviously, you're not decapitating this villager. Instead, instead you're just ripping the pumpkin off of the head, and so it doesn't matter if the grapple succeeded or not because of the 20, but because of the decapitation effect from the critical hit effect.
There you go.
And so,
there's an artful.
yeah,
There's an artful dungeon master ruling. I like it.
yeah. So you
7.
rip the pumpkin right off, and he is no longer a threat.
Yay.
Got rid of 7. Right. 8's gonna miss me.
Yeah, probably, except for he's gonna attack Pesci.
Oh, that's good because I'm whatever. I can't do anything.
Oh no, wait, disadvantage.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, still a hit.
Okay, but not a critical. Sorry.
Yeah, you took away the crit. Yeah, exactly.
It is very difficult to use my class feature in that way.
Yes. Yeah, I know, and it's especially more difficult because I try to be very speedy, especially because we're already 10 minutes over. So I'm just trying to be fast about it. I understand completely. As long as you get that out, I will always honor it. So yeah.
You're doing good. Gorkul, what do you got?
Today I bring a certain starry map, and I'm going to target the eye.
Yep.
And use inspiration to give me advantage.
Yep. Still -5, but advantage. Oh, don't forget the target. There you go. All right. And that hits still, just not the eye. So deal the damage.
And Goracle ducks under again after using his mighty star map,
Yes.
striking the enemy with one of the many beings that he's inscribed on it.
I like to imagine that you kind of hold your hand up like Goku forming the uh, spirit bomb and then launch like a meteor when you use your star map to make these kind of attacks.
That would be a bit. That's more of a level 20 thing, if I'm honest.
I didn't mean the big spirit bomb. I just meant like how you hold your hand up and then throw
A spirit grenade.
yeah, spirit grenade, spirit popper. Okay, Perzor, I am attacking you and I don't get advantage.
That's annoying.
You are heavily wounded as I slam into you.
No, it's for sure. Okay, what do I have to roll?
So at the end of your turn, boom. You are saved, you are no longer paralyzed, and next turn you will go.
Okay.
The Beholder Lantern, however, blasts you. What?
Wait a minute. Isn't it that a crit?
Yes.
And there's no rules that would say like that he wouldn't be able to take his turns since it's a crit or something.
It happens at the end of his turn.
Understand.
Sorry.
Okay.
And so he casts another ray at you.
Yeah. Ew. Ew.
And so
Ew.
you are stunned as an enervation ray saps you of all of your strength. Your scales dry and crack a little as the hydration flees from you.
Yeesh. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Lucy, you have a different thing you're gonna do. Wait a second.
I'm about to attack Pesci.
I've already used my thing,
Duly noted. Yep.
so it'll be after my turn. I'll have it again.
It's okay. Missed. Can miss again. Oh, darn. God, Bunny Slayer. Come on, girl.
Yeah, I got some hit points since last time.
That's good.
Good job, girl. We women have to stick together.
I still only have the one hit point. It just got really big. What the? This is ridiculous. Bitey gives up. I'll meet you guys back at the village.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to grab the. Oh, I guess I can move here.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
move to the.
And let's go ahead and attempt to grab with advantage the head, the pumpkin.
Yes.
So -2 with advantage.
-2 with advantage.
Cool.
Boom. And then grapple.
Grapple.
No! It was so close! It was so close!
Oh,
Tragic.
this has been a tragic rolling session. Yes.
Yes, you're going to use your hunter's mark and your veil of thorns.
And then is that your turn?
No, you're just going to turn around and you're going to shoot.
Alright. DM, if I heal D'Angelo, does that do anything?
It probably saves his life.
Okay. Um,
Brave
Well,
pet.
if that's the case, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
in
screw
that
that.
case.
I'm supposed to die. This is the point.
Oh,
I love
stop dying.
I love
Getting
Brave
confused. I
Pesci.
don't remember who you are.
I
Pesci
can't remember who
standing
I am.
here defending the lizard folk against these zombies. That's brave for him to begin with.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm still mourning the loss
Alright,
of
well, I
my
should have 3 temporary hit points.
Mourning the loss of who?
The bugbear.
Oh, the
bugbear.
bugbear. Yeah.
Alright. D'Angelo, I am casting Healing Word as a level 2 spell.
Awesome. Thank you.
I guess that's like average-ish. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm out of spell slots. Alright. Pesci drops his drops the quarterstaff, takes out his short bow. I'm going to use a point of inspiration to give myself advantage. And I'm going to do what Garakul has been doing and target his eye.
It's already got advantage because of guiding bolt. You don't need
Oh,
to
does
spend
it?
it.
So I don't need to use my inspiration then to get
Correct.
advantage.
Correct.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I target its eye. That's what, a -5?
Yes.
Okay. And I...
It.
Why is it not giving me 2 dice to roll? Okay. Well, we'll see what it does. Roll. A mighty roll.
Oh, there you go.
A critical hit. You strike the beholder in the eye with your short bow.
I say, glory is mine.
Oh man! You take out its central eye. The beholder screams in pain, a wretched screech worse than nails on chalkboard. To describe it as nails on chalkboard is an insult to nails on chalkboard. The
It's
guy
not an
from
insult. It's a understatement.
yeah, this is the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit being like fed through the worst distortion you've ever heard as the beholder just screeches and you guys watch as it kind of like melts like a pumpkin left out on the porch past Christmas and New Year's. It's just
What?
yeah, it's just a puddle of orange goo, and the little vines that contain the tiny pumpkins that were blasting rays at D'Angelo continue to blast rays in all directions as it like melts away like the Wicked Witch screeching. And the rays are just blasting everywhere. And so Lucy and Perzor are going to have to be targeted and potentially something happens, and then we will wrap up.
Pesci feeling heroic because he cast heroism on himself, and Perzor shouts back, I've heard better than that.
Is this a fear effect?
It's going to be a random one of its eyes, so we'll see.
I'm hoping for fear.
Yep. All right. So for Perzer, I'll roll you first. No, I'll do Lucy first just to keep the suspense. So Lucy gets number 2, Fear Ray.
You might be.
No, that's the one. That's the one I wanted.
Yeah. You're like, hey, no fair. Blast me with that.
I need to be afraid.
Mm.
I'm not often afraid.
Yeah, you're not often afraid, but this time you are extremely frightened as the blast hits you and everything that just happened kind of starts to sink in and you're I don't want to say panicked, but you're frightened to the point where you definitely have to move away from the beholder. And now
You move? Is it my turn?
Hold on, no, that's okay.
you get a paralyzing ray.
That's not a fear ray.
And you are paralyzed. All right, so that's what happens right at the end as the beholder melts into pumpkin goo. Perzor gets paralyzed. Lucy gets frightened. D'Angelo recovers from his stun. Pesci is standing there, all brave, and the pumpkins fall and crack off of the rest of the grateful villagers who take you back to the village, and after tending to wounds throws the biggest harvest festival celebration this region has ever seen. They
Yeah.
pull out all of the most expensive pumpkin wines and everything else and celebrate you guys as heroes well past noon of the next day before
Yeah,
everybody passes out and gets a
but
long
before
rest. What?
but be but unlike the others, Gorakul decides to check out the layer of this beholder lantern.
Gorakul stays behind as you guys are led off to the village to check out the lair alone, and we will deal with that
Oh, that's a bad idea.
next
That's a bad
session.
idea.
So while everyone else is drunk and reveling,
Yeah,
Gorakul
but
is
he's
going
not.
to be solo exploring the cave of the beholder.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen this movie.
No,
Is it called The
he's not
Descent?
exactly going into it, but he is sort of observing the outside and waiting for the others.
Wait,
Better.
you're going to be waiting until afternoon. When you're in a horror movie, you make bad decisions. It's just what you do. Anyway, that is where we draw to a close for this very special Halloween session of Dragons of War. I want to
Awesome.
thank all of you for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good
Good
gaming.
gaming.
All right.